Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the League of Inches podcast, Supercoach edition. Wow. Ready to rip and tear. What a week that was. What was that? I don't know. I felt like it was kind of good. In a way, kind of not as well. I don't know what it was, but we'll discuss it very, very quickly, or very soon, I should say. First of all, shout out to Freedom Finance, Con and his team there, who are sponsoring the Supercoach side of things. Make sure any financial needs you do have, you please contact them directly or contact us. We'll get you in contact with Con. He'll look after you from the League of Inches gang. Shout out at the moment to, actually, first of all, Jesse, how's things, brother?
Yeah, good, man. Just cruising along. Yeah. Are we talking about our weeks already, are we?
No, not yet. I'm getting into... No. I'm just asking how you are first, because I need about 20 seconds to get what I need to get to.
A little bit of
so I'm trying to...
Yeah. No, it's going good. Going well. Just, trying to just deal with this week, I suppose, going into Supercoach. I suppose last week was actually quite rewarding for all three of us. We all scored pretty well. We all saw green. A couple of big scores too, actually. I was going through the League of Inches overall group, which I'm sure you're about to hit on, but man, there's some big dogs in that comp at the moment. I think, have we still got first place, or is he?
I'm about to let you go. Don't jump ahead, mate. Just sit back in your lane. I haven't handed the mic over yet to you. You're not the host for the next 5 minutes, so just you chill. Trav, I would like to say it's been a while, but it hasn't. Seen you 24 hours ago, and we wanted to have an on-air fight, so that was fun. How's things?
Oh, yeah, and I would have smoked you piss week. But, yeah, I'm going really well, man. Going really well.
So League of Inches overall, I'm about to click in. I just noticed something. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but I did not change my rank in that on the weekend, which I find absolutely insane. I've just sat there on 0. No rank change at all, which is wow. I don't know. That's crazy. I've never had that before. In the League of Inches overall group or the overall comp, I didn't change my rank at all. So I must have had people going up and below, everything. It was weird, but I stayed solid. So shout out to Joel, Year of the Eagle. He's still on top. That buffer he had there has definitely been closed. It's been closed by a heap, actually. He's only got about a 28-point buffer now. So very much getting closed in quickly by Craig Dino Dancers in second. So, and Joel, we are out there. We put the call out last week. You didn't message the page, but please let us know who you are. Message the page because we want to know who is leading our comp, please. We are, really keen. Our league ranking at the moment is 9, so that's cracking. We are absolutely flying at the moment. In his overall rank, Joel, at the moment, he did drop down from his original top spot. He's now overall his 10th. So we've got a couple of the big dogs in there, a couple of about 5 or 6 in the top 50, so that's really good. Comp is going very, very strong. For the top points scored in the comp this week goes to the Met Goats, Stephen, 1,477. So make sure you message the page, get in contact with us. Thanks to Pack Lords, you'll get that $10 break credit towards their next break that they do there for the NRL cards. But make sure you do message the page, please, to get that voucher organised and sent to you. Then you'll be able to contact the team at Pack Lords for that one. So thank you. Let's do it. Let's talk about our own results. Trav, I'll go to you first. How'd you go?
Yeah, as Jesse said, I had a pretty solid week. 1250 exactly. Love a nice rounded score. 1250. I rose 2,140. Thought I would actually rise a little bit more than that, to be fair. But yeah, rose up to now. I've broken the 20K, 18,466. My team value shot up another 300K, so 14,708,000. And I'm boostless. I have a total score of 8,289, and my team, other than an injury that I've got to deal with this week, I actually think my team's pretty much set bar one other change I need to make in the set of wings. But like most people, and even if you look in the top ranks, most have only got 2 guns in their centers and still running cheapies, which will change this week. But I'm not too far dissimilar to what what some of the people around. I ended up making some changes and pretty happy. My 3 trades last week, I'm pretty happy with in the end. I was all in on Anderson. I'm glad I didn't in the end. I kind of went, and the change I had to make was, and the reason why I did this very last minute, which is why I didn't put it in the legends, was if I'm going to use my last boost, I wanted to make sure I did it on someone I'm going to keep. So that way, then I'm not using a boost to get another cheapie in or anything like that. I'm using a boost to get a keeper, and my boost was to make sure I could get as many keepers as I could. So I made sure. So I pushed Iongi to Pappy. There's a keeper, and I get it. Iongi had a really good week, got another nice 70 odd whatever, and he's pushed up again, and he's going to stay in that sort of range to keep as in your flex / other fullback spot. And I understand that, but I really wanted to push that and get my team loaded. I wanted it done as quick as possible. And so I'm happy with that Pappy trade. And I had to make a trade for Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu was a keeper, and this was my thinking. So Tuipulotu was a keeper of mine, the way that he was playing. The Anderson trade was value, but I knew that I was going to have to trade Anderson again. I didn't want to do that if I was going to use a boost. So I went Tuipulotu to Karaz, and then I did Shibasaki down to Hiroti so that I could fund a lot of it. So I'm quite happy with what I ended up doing. I'm sitting there. I feel like this will be Supercoach. I'll be breaking Supercoach records this year. It'll be the slowest way to win.
Someone's got to do it.
Oh, you're a
Someone's
joke.
going to do it. I'm going to break records. Yeah, and I will be the slowest one to winning Supercoach by the end of this year. No one's ever done it. It'll be me. I'm telling you now. I can see it.
Done.
I didn't know we had Carl Barron on the podcast.
Carl Barron's hilarious, and what a good dude.
I'm not going to go into what I did last week in terms of trade because I honestly forget. I got no idea what I did. All I know is that I beat Trav's school. So thank you. I'm back. I'm back, baby. 1,252 last week. Went up 1,393. Hey, a win's
the
a
last
win,
3
baby.
weeks, I've beaten him by like 40s and 50s and never really said anything. And he beats me by 2 and have a look at the trash he talks. Told you he's pissed me. He's all words, guys.
Excuse me. I'm going through my points at the moment. Bit of respect. Thank you. I went up 1,393 spots up to 13,596. I'll be up there in the top 5K in no time, guys. Trust me, my team is loaded this week. Wow.
And you'll drop out of it as quick as you did last time.
That's all I got to say at the moment. All I'd say is, the last final thing is I'm still undefeated in our draft at the moment. So shout out to all those coaches in there. Div 1, the big dog's still here in town. So thank you very much. If I flex anymore, I'll break a couple of biceps. So I'll stop doing that. But what are we now? 7 rounds in, and I'm still 7-0. Some people just no draft, and I am one of them. Jesse, take it away, brother, because on a serious note, actually bit proud of you here tonight because we have now got a guy officially in the top 1K, which is woo-hoo-hoo. Take it away.
Only took 7 weeks. But yeah, no, it was good. So your score's cute. Obviously, you can bicker about it. So I got scored 1298. I think I've topped the 3 of us for 7 weeks in a row. Maybe you got me once. So yeah, sit down, little boy. But yeah, 1298 was good. I went up to rank 838. So sitting pretty in the 1,000, which is nice. Not teetering on the edge. Went up 487 spots too. So it was almost like a third of my rank as a jump, which is quite big for that section. But yeah, no, it was good. Total points 8,715. Team values just almost 15 mil now, which is good. 14.97. So not far off. Yeah, I won all my head-to-heads. It was a good score. It was just a good week overall. A couple of big dogs in, obviously Marzu and everyone. That kind of kept everyone up. But I traded in, I used a boost. I've still got one left now, which is good. But I brought in Karaz and Herbie last week. I just went in. Everyone was going for Hiroti and trying to get some cash. And I was like, oh, my cash is fine. I've got money everywhere. I don't really need to be trading in more cashies. And obviously more is good, but I want the points and I want the guns. So yeah.
Did you not get a Hiroti at all?
Nah. I'm almost half considering fading Billy Smith too. I don't need him. My centre wing's fine. My team's fine. I've got obviously Jaden Campbell, which like most people who have got him in the 5'8s are worried about, but it's good. Like I'm not in a weird spot where I'm kind of struggling, so it's relieving this early on to have that. But yeah. Oh, and I boosted. I had Dimitri Valmega in my 2RF because I got rid of Navahu White, who actually scored quite well. But then I was like 2 seconds before kickoff for the Storm game. I was like, ooh, Bronson Garlic. And I don't know what come over me. And I didn't think twice about it, but I
This
just
is
went
horrible.
Valmega out, Bronson Garlic straight in. And I was like, beautiful, done. So he's sitting in my 2RF. He's starting. He scored 41. He scored more than Valmega actually did. So I was like, well, that worked out quite well. Yeah, and he's a starting hooker for probably, I would like to say, maybe 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens. But it was
And
just,
over
he's
Origin.
250k and Origin too. So it could go from like now into around, who knows, 15, maybe longer. But yeah, he's just going to sit there for me and hopefully disappear when he's not named and won't be an AE problem for me. So yeah, it was just an off the cuff move, but got to make him. So
That's a disgusting move to waste a boost on. That's
the boost was for
disgusting.
Herbie and
That's
Karaz. What are you
disgusting.
talking about?
Anyway,
Herbie
let's
Karaz
move on.
and the Melbourne Storm hooker. What are you kidding? Who's a dual position? Mate.
Who'd you drop down? You dropped down. Who'd you drop him down to? Or
Who?
from? Who'd you drop
Well,
from?
Naf White.
Yeah, so so it was a money trap. That was 400k.
It was money. Yeah, it was the 400k. Oh, it was 300k to get Herbie and Karaz. That was the whole point. I needed extra coin.
Yeah,
and I've only got 18k left too, so it was very vital to me to get that limit of money. I wasn't playing with a lot. It was between Valmunga. I didn't really look at Bradley either. Had I seen Bradley, I may have gone him instead, but I was fine with Garlic. That's easy one for us. So yeah, just sitting there. But my centre wing's freaking stacked. I like the side. It looks good. Not giving me any headaches.
Well done, mate. No, on a serious note, well done. Good work. Top 1K.
Thanks,
let's keep that going. Let's keep climbing the ladder. Let's end the season number 1, 2, and 3. Let's go.
Good.
Let's get into it. Take it away. I'll hand you the mic now, Jesse. Where are we going from here? Oh, wait. Sorry. Yeah, we've got the team list. Look out. I'm all over the shop tonight. That caramel milkshake I smashed before this has absolutely got me a good one. All righty, Thursday night. So Broncos against the Bulldogs, Suncorp Stadium. So for the Broncos, Cobbo replaces Walsh at fullback with Mariner on the wing. Walters starts at 9 with Wilson in the back row, switching with Pikes and Jaden Hunt. Piakura back on the bench, but there has been a late change. I think Ricky's out. Piakura is starting with the 24-hour inside the 24-hour mail. For the Bulldogs, current name starting prop with Harry Hayes on the bench for Jack Todd. Man at 14 and Hayward at 17 on the bench. Anything Supercoach related to talk about here, boys?
Cobbo at fullback. Look, I'm not really super keen, to be honest with you. I suppose it is worth mentioning, but I'm also just want to see what happens. He just looks so disinterested all the time. I don't know if I'd really want to do that, but yeah, he's got a game or two in him. But yeah, no, not particularly. Piakura is dirt cheap, but probably for good reason. And the Dogs just keep on doing their thing, just freaking steamrolling everyone. So get Karaz if you don't have
Every
him.
week I look at my team and I hate how little Bulldogs I have in my team. I just feel like I should have more for how they're going, but
they don't score well.
That's what I mean. It is what it is. It's not hurting me too much, I don't feel like, but it would be nice to have. But Trav, anything for that one?
Look, if you want to touch quickly on the Bulldogs, like you've said, and I agree with you, I look at the Bulldogs and think, how come I don't have so many of them? And I wish I had started a few. I mean, I did start with Preston, traded him out the day before he scores 120. So you know, and now I've got him on the list to buys for the Origin period in the 2RF. So you know, it is what it is. I just want to give a really good shout out to one Connor Tracy. He's dual center wing fullback. He's well priced at 570. The dude's averaging 64 points. Is
this where we bring up what you said pre-season as well, and you have a bit of a gloat?
No, I wasn't going to go there, but you can do it for me. Go.
Well, we all know. We go back and you were raving about him. Me and Jesse almost laughed in your face, and here we are.
Yeah,
Here we are.
a dude averaging 64 points with a dual centre wing fullback. Price at now 570. He's
It's
having
still
a
not
good
a
year.
lot. Yeah, it's still not a lot compared. Like, what was he priced at initially? I don't think it was much lower.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Funny enough, he hasn't actually really moved at all. He's pretty similar to what he was. I'll pull it up now, but I just want to sort of give that
Yeah.
prop. So there's a kudos where a kudos is due, and this is a dude. He's actually lost 16K.
Oh, well, there you go. He's killing it.
But
How did
with
he
a
lose 16K when his average is, I don't know,
64
but decent value.
as a center, the way it's going, yeah. And
Yep.
he's going to play all like 3 major bye rounds. The Bulldogs draw over the buys are good. Come Origin, who knows who's going to get picked really? But yeah,
I think the Dogs missed the first 2 buys, don't they? 2 majors.
yeah, he plays 3 major bye rounds. So he misses 13 and 16.
Right. Oh, that's good. Take that.
Get
Could
him
be
in.
valuable,
Get him
actually.
in,
Dogs
Trav.
look, yeah.
No, I can't because I got to try and find some way to get JC out this week. I just wanted to give him a shout out as someone, and I wasn't really going to, but like you, I just sort of piggybacked on the back of what you were saying about the Bulldogs and that we should have a few more of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is Burton of interest at all? We're talking about Burton a bit later.
We'll talk about Burton because there's obviously a lot of talk about, JC replacements in the 5'8" position, and the 5'8s are just so weird at the moment. They don't really look good. There's very little appeal out of anyone. But yeah, look, the Dogs are flying. If Burton was kicking, it'd be nice, but I think he might get it back. I'm keen. I honestly am. I like the look of it. It looks good in your side too, especially if you handcuff him next to a Carraz. Just nice to see the Doggies, and if they keep doing what they're doing, man, I see merit in it. He just doesn't have that kind of blowout massive ton game in him. He just, he's last year he strung like 7 or 8 80s together in a row, almost like clockwork. It was just 80, 80, 80. And I'll be very happy with an 80 from a 5'8". That's solid as. It's just, he got 65 with no kicking. Like if he can do that with a couple of goal kicking, man, it's an 80 game for him comfortably. So
What's he priced at?
He's 621.
Yeah, 620. He's lost a bit of coin too, and his break even's still a little bit high. He might lose a little bit more, but it won't be much more. Like he's going to be a 600K guy at the lowest. So it's it'd be 80 to 100K if a downgrade from JC. But yeah, I like it. There's a couple, but we'll go into more of that after the TLT stuff anyway.
Yep, sweet. Next Anzac, the Anzac Day Classic, the Roosters against the Dragons. For the Roosters, big name dropped. Nwanga Nitawasi replaces Dom Young on the wing. Lenu starts at prop with Butcher out. Crichton is back in the second row, pushing Fiketti back to the bench. For the Dragons, with Finai out injured, Sione Finau joins the wing. Gula returns from concussion, replacing Hamish Stewart, who is out with concussion. Anything to discuss here? Trav, kick us off.
Is anyone interested in Marky Mark?
Oh yes.
Oh, there's a temptation
yes.
there. I just can't make it happen.
So, if I'm going to talk about Connor Tracy, I have to talk about Marky Mark. The only difference to me between the two of them is that obviously Marky Mark's got a better average, but Tracy's got the dual, which is nice. Not huge, but nice with the flex spot now. It's not overly important, but holy moly, if he's been named out on the wing, there's more runs, that's more tackle breaks, that's more tries on a wing that Dom Young's been scoring pretty well out on the right. I mean, the Roosters have been doing better out on the left, but on the right, I'm very eager to have a look and see and try and find a way to get him. He's got a break even at 27 and he's averaging 66. And the only reason why he didn't play was because of the suspension.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's big appeal in him, man. Huge appeal in him. Everyone's going Billy Smith. I just think far out. Like he already breaks every tackle he goes into. 545. He's gone up 100K, and I still look at that price and I think, geez, that's a bargain for him. Like it really is. Like for what he can do. It's almost like you get him set and forget. Like if you're expecting his output to go up, quite drastically with the runs going from center to wing, he's already killing it in the centers. So it's like, how much more can he do? You know what I mean? He's going to probably get an extra 10 runs a game, which means he's probably going to break an extra 10 tackles in a game. Like that's big points if he just does that. Plus the tries. Like, yeah, I'm very keen. Hey, just got to find someone to part with.
Oh.
Marchu 2.0.
It's look for
Could be.
for 120k more. It's Jenkins up. You know, like if you can find a way from if you're still holding a Tamale or something like that. Like he played well last week, and he's kind of not reset his price, but
There's more in him.
he's there's more in him. But he, you know, if you want to take that risk and get ahead, this is sort of the play. That's a good play. Yeah, it's hard to get in, but there is interest. But yeah.
Kind of want to see how he goes too. Shifting edges could increase Rabbitohs' output as well. Having him inside because he's having like being inside no longer we need Wasi because he's been given lots of ball to Tupou as well. So I just expect that left side to just die a little bit now. But yeah, the rest of the side guns. It's going to be a good Anzac Day clash. It always is. I like this matchup.
Anything else for this one?
Nope.
Perfect. Next up, Warriors against the Newcastle Knights. So for the Wars, CNK returns at fullback, pushing Picky to the wing, with Kossi dropping out. Berry returns, pushing Capewell back to the back row. TMM drops out as a result. And for the Newcastle Knights, can they start scoring some points? Goodness me. Dylan Lucas, a huge return back in the back row, pushing Kant to the bench, with Jermaine McEwen dropping out. Cogger named in reserves and may return. Do we talk? I think Dylan Lucas features in the top trade in and out, so I don't think we talk about him yet. Anything else to discuss in this match? Jesse, you can kick us off.
Not particularly. Like they've shifted back to the Warriors. Sorry, have shifted back to Niokore in the starters. So yeah, Halasima kind of got benched. We'll see if that changes before kickoff. I'd imagine it might. He was pretty good last week. He's very impressive. But the side, the Warriors are doing what they're doing. They're actually doing really well. The Knights, you could say a million other things, and well is not one of them. So who knows, man? Like this Supercoach game is decent for some of them, not for Ponga, obviously, but. Yeah, Marju, far out. If we can get that every week, my God, it'd be, much needed. But yeah, look, Thomas Kent, he's gone to the bench. It was kind of, I expected it as much as anything else what was going to happen. Their second row is obviously locked in now with Lucas back. And we'll just see, man. Like if he gets middle minutes, like rotation, Matt Croker, who knows how much he plays. There might be a late swap as well. Like I'd definitely be looking at the hour kickoff now before this one kicks off because, yeah, I don't imagine they line up like they do when they run out. But yeah, good value in a couple of them. Dylan Lucas especially, like I really like him as a trade-in. We'll get obviously into him. He's so popular at this week, but Kant's probably a good trade out maybe after this round, or even this week if you just wanted to, say thank you for the 150k and move him on. Marzu, if you don't have him, I would say is a big buy, definitely. And shit, even Ponga at his price now, Trav's got it in his notes there, but it's hard to pass him up at sub 600k. I've never seen it. So
he just on the two games that Dylan Lucas has played this year, Kalen Ponga scored over 200 points.
Yeah, was it 80 and 120 something?
82 and 129, and then instantly once Lucas leaves, I mean, there's no coincidence here, eh? No, Lucas leaves, he gets a 45, 35, 34, 46.
No Lucas, no party.
No Lucas, no scores for Ponga. So Lucas is back this week. Ponga party, let's go. And there's nothing to do here with AOB. There's nothing to do with the coaching structures or anything like that. It's all Lucas. He's back.
Well, realistically, what changed besides Lucas gone?
Nothing.
Exactly right. The halves every week, but Dylan Lucas. Just get the left edge going again. That's all we need.
Just with your Kant owners or Khan, whatever it is, just be wary because the rumors are getting louder and louder about the fact that Pierce Paul is sooner rather than later going to be out of this team. And in terms of new club, so who knows when that happens? You never know. Kant might get a lot more minutes than we're anticipating because he's in the plans for the future. Unlike Pierce Paul, who is more than likely, whether it's the end of the year, but I'm hearing it's more than likely going to be earlier than that. Out of the team, out of the club. So there could be a some player swaps happening in the near future. I think we all know some of these other players involved, but just keep an eye on that sort of thing. So
silly.
could be of interest.
KPP's been killing it too. He's been so good. Like,
has he?
He has. He
I think
actually
he's been
has.
that good.
He's been solid, man. Dead set. Supercoach
Yeah, I
wise,
wouldn't say-
definitely solid.
I wouldn't say killing it, but
Yeah.
Well, the Knights have
Yeah.
not been killing it by any means, but like I can't say he's done anything particularly wrong, especially not to be forced out. But
I'd rather have
Yeah.
Thomas Kant there from what I've seen, though, to be honest. He's a goer.
Yeah.
He's a goer.
Yeah.
And Adam
He's all
O'Brien hasn't helped Piers Paul's game at all. I don't think he's allowed him the freedom to actually play his natural game. So I hope he goes to a club that actually lets him play some football and we get to see what he can do, because he could become super coach relevant if he can. So that offloading game he's got, wow.
Deadly.
Next up, Storm against the Rabbitohs. For the Melbourne Storm, Meaney returns at centre for Jack Howarth. Garlic named in the number 9 jersey. Jesse will be very happy with that one. Lazarus Vailipu joining the bench for Kamakamika, who has an ankle injury. And for the Bunnies, Latrell, there's a few things happening here. Latrell back to the 1, which sees Gray go to the 14. Dodd out. Bentley Harper on the wing and Sullivan at 7. The backline changes. Aiken shifts to the back row and Arrow to the 13 in the forwards. Goodness me. And I'm hearing there's a bit of whispers around about Cody Walker. Potentially has picked up an injury at training again with his hemi. And it looks like Gray might be coming into that 6 jersey. Who knows? That could be smoke and mirrors. It could see Gray go back to fullback and Latrell push back up to 5/8. I felt that would probably happen, to be honest with you. So, anything to add to this one?
It's going to be a bloodbath, isn't it? Like,
I don't know.
look at Melbourne, man. I don't know. I
How
reckon
can you say that after last week?
because of last week. That's how I can say that. You got such a settled team in there, and then, like, if anything, they've gotten a bit stronger with like Meaney coming back in. Obviously, Howarth unfortunate with his shoulder, but far out, man. Like, how many changes do the Rabbitohs need to make? Like, it seems like they're just musical chairs at that club, going against the best club in the comp. Like, cricket score.
Yeah, I'm not so confident it's going to be a cricket score. I hope we win, but I'm not 100% confident. But I think we'll turn up after last week. I think Supercoach wise, there's a couple of names to keep an eye on. One of them's Kane Bradley. Word is that Warbricks is struggling. That concussion's really playing with him.
Yeah.
So there's a few. I think there's still a few more weeks out with that. So he's in. The loss of Howarth. Howarth is gone. There's talk that he'd be back by finals. That's a long time away. So unfortunately, my man, it's a huge loss for us. But what that shows, Kane Bradley on the weekend is very good in the air, and we need that. And he wants to have a crack at it. He literally wants to have a crack at it. He doesn't mind. So he can put his body on the line and go for it. So I think that's a really big plus for us. Something that we, even last week when we got flogged, they looked for. They kicked to him repetitively. So he's on the watch. And then it's the great big conversation that literally every podcast group and everyone's posting is what's going to happen with Pappenhausen, and particularly around, is he going to sustain the kicking? As a Storm fan, I have this feeling he does. As a Supercoach fan, I bloody hope he does. But I'm interested just to see what happens and whether Meaney does that, because to be fair, Meaney is a good center, but not a great center. And I think he has a spot because of his kicking. I'm just eager to see what happens there.
I don't know why they'd willingly choose to get a kicker with worse percentage just to keep him in the team. Like, it just doesn't make sense for a Melbourne side.
But there's a difference between, like, if you have a look at where Pappy kicks it and what Meaney kicks, like, and from where Meaney gets it. Meaney, unfortunately, in his career has had to kick more from the edges than what Pappenhausen has. Pappenhausen has a ridiculous, I've seen the stats. Pappenhausen has a ridiculous amount of kicks that he kicks from in front of the goals. And so therefore,
but he can still hit him from the sideline. He's been,
but not very well.
One goal this season. What do you mean not very well?
But have you looked at? Go and have a look at the heat map. Go and look at the map of
map.
where it is. Go and look at
I
where
don't
it
need
kicks
to look at a
from.
heat map.
Go and look at where it's kicking from.
I would take Pappenhausen kicking over Meany kicking every day.
Go and
day.
have
I
a
don't need a heat map. I don't want to
I
see
said at the start of the year that I never ever thought Pappenhausen was
Jack
that great a
Hotspot.
kick. He's not that good a kick. He's just been lucky because we score a lot of tries in the middle. And Pappenhausen at that time has kicked most of it. If you don't, go and have a look. You're welcome to.
But he kicked one over the black dot from the sideline on the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He
Yeah.
kicked one on the weekend
bang.
over the black dot. Awesome job, Pappenhausen.
Yeah, and the week
Great
before,
job.
and a couple the week before, and
he's
the rest of
17
his
from
career.
18.
He's doing really well this year, but I still think Meany is a better kicker.
He's a 90% kicker.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not going to repeat myself, you morons.
No,
Listen.
it's fine. I'll check the heat map, and I'll just be like, cool. I'm glad that my point was proven. Perhaps a great kicker.
Can you send us the heat map, please? I want to check that. I do want to check that.
Yeah, go and do your own research.
Oh, here
Where are the
we
stats
go.
to back this?
I'll just stick to what I think that from the eye test, Pappen is a better kicker than Meany. So next game there. Oh, here we go. Jesse's favorite, a Queensland derby.
No,
Cowboys
classic.
against the Titans. For the Cowboys coming off the bye. Let's see if it helps them. They were starting to find a little bit of form. So then I starts in the back row with O'Donnell on the bench. Is the only change. Cowboys is basically full strength in this one. Harrison Edwards is the 18th man. For the Titans, who knows what is happening with this team and club at the moment, but AKP returns. That's a huge. Khan Pierre returns on the wing. Weaver remains in the halves with Randall at the back row. On the bench, she's for Feeder, miraculously recovered. Apparently, Desi got that one wrong. Geez, wow. All those people who sold out for Feeder or something last week. He's gone, oh my God, thanks, Desi. Jolliffe, Gray, and Howell are all on the bench. Farsor, Malawi, and Haas dropped to reserves. So obviously, Payne Haas being the big mid-week recruit has been dropped with Big Tino as well. No, it's obviously poor joke. Sorry, guys, you almost had a heart attack. All right. What about for this game? Anything to talk about for this one? Trav, Jesse.
Anyone. It's funny how fast you forget a team when they're on a bye. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at the Cows and I'm like, oh, that's right, the Cowboys exist. Scott Drinkwater, man, I reckon he goes big time. Like I just feel like the Titans are just leaking too much, and Purdue as well. I'm so glad to have Purdue and be eager to start him against the Titans. Yeah, look, they got troubles, don't they? I guess the whole David Fafita thing kind of got a little bit blown up in sort of just more than expected. It was like, 4 weeks he was saying to come out. And then I think before the press conference, he said he didn't know and he needed scans. And then he's saying 4 weeks. And now he's back named. So, yeah, I think it was all just him just taking a punt and guessing and trying to throw a number at a wall and seeing what sticks. But for Feeder, yeah, appealing still. We'll see what happens after this week. And if he gets a run next week or starts, could be a good run. But then, yeah, just how close is he going to get selected for Origin? I'd highly doubt it. Not really, man. Another Queensland derby, just a bit of a whatever affair, to be honest. See them all the time. These. I do. Honestly, there's 4 Queensland teams. We somehow managed to get a derby every week.
It's great. Love it. Trav, anything to add to this one? Thank you.
No.
Next game, he's got nothing to add. Penrith against Manly. So for this one, Penrith, the only change to the Penrith team who beat the Roosters is Maverick Gaia coming in for Tungo, who replaces Garner in the centres, who is out with concussion. For Manly, sorry, 1 second. Where is my notes? Disappeared. So Turbo returns at 1. Wow, we look out. Big Tommy T is back. Smell that? Queenslanders, that's Origin around the corner as well. Unlucky for you guys. With Lehigh shifting to the wing in place of Talau, who goes to the bench. Is Seabold wanting to lose his job? What is with this affair of wingers on the bench for him? Seriously.
Turbo cover.
Stimkin, maybe. But he had it last week. Stupid. Stimkin starts at 9 with Savunga at 13 in place of Gerbo. And Alay back in for Sipley. Trav, what about this one?
His mic's off. Microphone's
What's he
muted.
doing?
No idea. His mic's muted. All right. Well, I'll just quickly touch on it. Turbo's back a week before a bye. It's a bit silly, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't. It shows the desperation. They need a win.
Yeah, but it's against
Not the
Penrith.
ideal team to do it against though, because Penrith
No.
has found form.
Well, we'll see if Penrith have found that form, and last week wasn't just this one blow off, but it's Penrith. You know what I mean? Like you got to imagine once they're rolling, they are. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's just a bit. Yeah, they're chasing a win, and they just picked a bad matchup to bring him back for. Jazz Tavanga at lock. I don't know. I've got a bit of this old nostalgic affair with Jazz Tavanga at lock when he was at the Warriors, just making like 90 tackles. Oh man, he's like 280k or something now. Dual hooker, 2RF. Like there is genuine appeal. If he actually keeps the spot down like that and he makes the 50, 60 tackles that he can comfortably, that's just all base. Like anything else is a bonus. I think there's good value there. I really do. But it's all a minutes thing. If he just plays 30, 40 minutes, it's like, how much does he really get? But that could be a bit of fun. For the Panthers, they look all right, man. He got Blaze in the 6 as well still. I don't mind him as a replacement for Jaden Campbell as well. I've been looking at him a bit this week. Scott Sorensen's hella cheap now, 360k. He's Mr. handsome devil he is. It's like a really good option again. Like he's playing big minutes still too. So yeah, I feel like this whole lull period for the Panthers kind of brought a lot of their prices down. Kind of like almost like a ripe for the picking opportunity now too, because like Cleary's getting bought in again. He's not even 700 yet. Blaze hasn't really gone up in price at all. Yo's back down in the high 6s. Sorensen's dropped heaps. Yeah, and like even Dylan Edwards, after his 130 something point game, it was basically what his break even was. So like there was a chance to get him for a lot less. He's hit his break even, which is nuts. And now he's sort of just reset himself. But again, Origin looming. It's like, is it worth the 3-week punt? Probably not. So yeah.
Alrighty, move on next one. Let Trav tackle the next one for us so we can move on away from this. TRT's dragged on for freaking 15 hours. Raiders versus the Dolphins. For the Raiders, they named the same side who beat the Titans on Sunday. However, expect Smithies to drop to the bench and for Papali'i to start at lock like they did last week, but that was essentially prop, not lock. For the Dolphins, Finn's up after a huge win last week against the Storm. Molo starts at prop for his first Dolphins game. Gilbert at 12 and Nicholson at lock with Kafusi out with a knee injury. Donahue, Stone, Lamuelu, and Kerr make the bench, and they all had great impact last week and as well. Trav, anything to talk about for this one?
Only a thought of I'd love Hudson Young. I just think he's too expensive right now. So I think, and Origin looming, I think be wary of that. A potential trade in or swap for JC would be, and he's on my radar, is Ethan Strange. Off the back of a 98 and a 70 the last 2 weeks, he's 436. He's got a break even at -29. He could be a really nice, juicy target. You're going to make 264K. With a decent draw, I think the Raiders over the next few, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they play right through to 15, then play 16, 17, 18, and then don't play 19. So that's a really nice draw. I'm very eager to think about a Strange for my change for JC. And in terms of the Dolphins, just be careful with Plath. I think the word is that the Plath might potentially be a laid out. So just if there is still a lot of people who own him, so just be wary of that.
Yep. That's fair. I'll get Jesse to tackle the last one so we can move on. The Tigers against the Sharkies. For the Tigers, you guessed it, Galvin back at 6. They've obviously, that's been all. It's all roses now. It's all rosy. Luai returning to the 7. Dewey then goes to the centers with Naden on the wing. Lau Lily drops out after a pretty poor performance, it must be said. The rest of the team is as per last week. For the Sharkies, Toby Rudolph drops out with an ankle injury and is replaced by Tuku Hau Tapua. This is the only change to the team that beat the Knights on the weekend. Jesse, any interest with this one?
There's not a lot to touch on with these two sides. Obviously, like Galvin's back.
Good.
Is he a replacement for JC? Probably not. I don't know what we kind of expect to see from Galvin. Like, I'm very, very curious for him. Pretty disappointed it's the last game of the week. I kind of want to see what happens early enough to even just absorb it all. But yeah, look, he's obviously done enough. Well, the team struggled enough without him. So Harodi is a big one. We'll see what happens next week if Kyle Leroy's named. Apparently, he's tracked from his hamstring recovery very well, and they're expecting him back very shortly. But yeah, look, if you get 2 weeks out of him, it's good money. And if you can keep a spot or just stash him away, maybe Stone Street makes way for him down the line. Who knows? But yeah, he's obviously next man up. It's worth holding on to him just to see. So yeah, again, the Sharks, they never change anything. They are what they are. And no, we don't really have anything to touch on, to be fair.
Beautiful. All right. Hand it over to you, Jesse. Take it away. The trade in and outs.
Yeah, trade in and outs this week. It's quite short, sweet. The most traded in players this week. There's basically 3 of them. It's Billy Smith. Billy Smith. For some reason, Connor Watson is in there, but I wouldn't consider that. It's more Billy Smith, Lucas, and Munster. So essentially, everyone's just getting on the Billy Smith train, rightfully so. A lot of cashies have basically peaked, especially going into a bad matchup, the Broncos with the Bulldogs. Jesse Arthurs, again, is probably the most popular traded out for the last couple of weeks running. He's out by almost 12,000 people. Again, obviously, Billy Smith is a great option for him. You're basically making, 170K doing that move. It's a bit of a no-brainer, I would say. What do you reckon on that one? Jesse Arthur's out. You're a firm believer, Joel, aren't you? Still on Jesse Arthur's?
Nah, I got rid of him. Got rid of him last week. See you later.
There you go. All right, cool. Well,
Goodbye.
I just think it's fair. Like, his break-even 64. He's done his job. Thanks for coming, basically. And it's the same. Like, you can look to the next one. The next traded out is Reece Walsh. I know I'm surprised so many people held on to Reece Walsh this long and waited for his injury to get rid of him. But I suppose we're holding on to Ponga, waiting for his bounce back, and it hasn't happened yet. So you can't knock the Walsh owners.
Excuse me, we're not. Don't put us all in the same bracket there.
Oh, all right then.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Walsh is out. He's dropped down to 600K. He's actually more expensive than Ponga. That's unbelievable. I didn't realize that. You got my live reaction. That's insane. He's been terrible. All right, well, fun stuff. There you go, live on air. Reece Walsh is a popular out. 10,000 people have traded him out. There's a lot of options this week to go to for him as well. Like if you're paying up, or if you go sideways directly to Ponga, I don't mind it. Honestly, I really don't. The Knights run's pretty decent. Like you just got to hope for that bounce back factor, the Dylan Lucas factor, even you could call it. If they win and it's big and Ponga scores like 70 plus, I'm straight up saying he's good with Lucas and nothing else, and that's it. Firm believer. Scott Drinkwater is a good option. Great buy coverage. Good home games. I think 4 of the next 5 are in Townsville. So they got rid of their first 7-week period, or 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 weeks where we're always worried about how the Cowboys were going to track. They had a rough start to the season. It softened up a lot for them. And yeah, with Origin, Drinkwater's a fantastic fullback to plug those 8 weeks with. So, or again, you pay up and you go straight to like a Teddy. I think those are probably the best options. Is there anything? I suppose we haven't really had a chance to talk fullbacks, but is there anything outside of that? Trav, I guess I'll get your opinion on the fullback side for the Walsh owners.
No, I'm glad I was going to touch on Drinkwater, but you've done it well. So I totally agree. And he's kicking, coming off the bye, good draw. I'm very eager and interested to get him. I can't do it this week, but I'm certainly keen to watch what happens and where that plays. I actually think Pong is a solid look at for a trade in at 591. He's still got a break even of 100, but I can see why people are doing it. If you don't own him, this is a good time to try and own him. However, he does go into Origin. And now that Reece Walsh is injured, there should be no conversation about that. So that's a buyer beware kind of bit and piece. But the fullbacks is not as loaded as you would think. Like Hammer is an option that people are talking about. I'm just not sold on it. And I know that he's going into Origin. Most have already got Gutho and Pappenhausen. I think the three is. I think it's really a 2-horse race at this point in time in terms of fullbacks of who you've got to own. Teddy and Pappenhausen. And I think if you've got those two, you're pretty safe.
Yeah, for sure. Hearing a lot of people, interested about the Gutho move out too, and I just think even at his price, he's worth holding. But there's a lot of those big ones. It's just without Latrell firing and Turbo being a bit on the fence about it all, and even Edwards, I suppose, hasn't been an option. It feels like we're kind of cornered into like a 3 or 4 fullback section, and that's not much deviation for it. Next traded out was it Thomas Jenkins. So 425k out by 10,000 people. Break evens are 48. It's a very easy way to get to Billy Smith, I suppose, if you have Toya and you don't want to make that trade, which makes sense. Thomas Jenkins is usually, in most sides that I've seen, he's the next guy up. He's like your centre wing 6. And yeah, if he's the only way to get to a Billy Smith, then I suppose it is what it is. Like, it's a fair trade. He's still got money to make, though. That's the thing. It won't be immediate, and it won't be as fast as Billy Smith will make. But I suppose the big thing with him, and I'll get your opinion on it, is what happens to the back line when Toto's back? Because that's only going to be a week or 2 away as well. They haven't really been persisting with him in the centres like I would have expected if he was going to keep a spot over McLean, because you got to think Toto comes back on probably the left wing. McLean's been there the whole time. If it was the whole point of, yes, sweet, when Toto's back, we just drop Casey McLean out, then why not play Jenkins in the centres now while he's there? But is that reading into it too much, or are we expecting Jenkins to be the guy that makes way?
I actually think it's Jenkins that makes his way out, but if that's the scenario that plays, but they've got a buy in round 11, and then they go into Origin, and someone's got to replace Edwards at fullback. And I think it'll be Jenkins. So, well, but isn't Laurie injured? I thought Laurie
he won't be by then.
Oh, I thought he was on.
Nah, Laurie's 18th man. He's fit.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I saw the I thought I saw the injury.
But he had a shocker last time he played, so Jenkins might be the guy.
And Jenkins was good last when he played fullback as well.
Yeah, for the one
90
game.
points plus. Yeah, exactly.
And then they put Laurie into fullback. He went as centers and had another big game. And then has kind of dropped away since. Yeah, I can see it. Jenkins has done his job. He's made 210k. We all kind of hoped that he would lock down that spot a bit more and for a bit longer, and it hasn't worked out. But he's less than 200k to push up to Lucas. He's 120k to push up to 140 to 120 to push up to Marky Mark. He's 140 to push up to Marju. Like he's in a pretty good range to load up and push up.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got Jenkins, I get the Billy Smith trade, but like most of us have got Purdue, we've still got Toya, we've got Tamale, we brought in Hiroti last week. Like we've got a few there. Like, do you need to have another one? I think maybe this is an opportunity to push Jenkins up to somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the play I'm sort of thinking of for people to do, and what I've spoken to people about who have messaged me. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm thinking. Although, the biggest trade at the moment is 5,500. Jenkins is to Billy Smith. So,
yeah. That's the thing. Like, majority will downgrade, but like it depends on what your center wing makeup looks like. And I suppose it touches, like, you can touch on everyone, because obviously Billy Smith is the guy that's coming in. And last week it was Hiroti. You know what I mean? Like, Hiroti was the most popular trade in. And the same people were getting traded out last week too. So your Arthurs, your Shibasaki. I didn't see Jenkins getting traded out too much last week, but he's basically done now. If you've got a Toya, a Tamale, Purdue, who's not a trade out by any means, he's almost 600k now, so he's locked into your guns. If you've got that Jenkins sitting there too, Hiroti and that kind of thing, you've got 4, 5 maybe of your 7 are relatively cheapy, status players. So where do you stop? And that's the kind of trap that people I see a lot get pulled into every year, is like, oh, there's a new cheapy center wing with a low break even. I got to get him. And it depends. Like some of them, Kyle Lero last year, he was in the same boat, but he looked the goods. That's how I feel like Purdue looks this year. I don't feel like I want to get rid of him anytime soon. But if you've already got 4 or 5, then like you're in a position where you can just sit him and be like, look, I know Billy Smith's going to make probably 200K like Jenkins has made, but so are the other 4 or 5 centre wings you've got already. And you can use this week to make, get a trade on the front foot, move him up, get yourself a gun instead of just recycling the cash back through. Because the cash is nice to have, but if it's not going anywhere, then it's like, what's the point at the same time?
And to be fair, and to analyse the early stages of this season, points are very much so king. And we've been lucky with some of our cheapies that for instance, Jesse Arthurs was pumping out points, and Joel said last week, which is why I think you were sort of saying Joel's still on the train of Arthurs, is that it was a hard trade out last week because Arthurs was the 4th highest averaging centre wing. And yet we were looking at trying to trade him out. We've been blessed with a Shibasaki who didn't really do much, then pumps out a big 100, then got another decent score. And so then he's pushed all the and scored really well. Tamale started really well and then dropped away and then had a 60 on the. We got a Jenkins in his first 3 scored and then Purdue, he started really poorly and a lot of people were trying to trade him out, and other people who like me who were very lucky who kind of analyzed that game and went, oh geez, we're very lucky. I'm going to keep him. He's got a 36, but he had 10 minutes in the bin, lost 10 points for that, blah 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 blah. And then I thought I've got other problems, but we were lucky to keep it, and then he's exploded. So we've been lucky with these cheapy options and the points that they've been able to make. But what I've noticed, and unlike in previous years, is that a lot of this early quarter of the season or third of the season is in previous years has been really trying to smash these cheapies, get the cash, and deal with that. Whereas this year, it's been everyone who's been able to try and get points as quick. Jesse, you did it really well in round 2 when you went, no, I need to get Crichton out. I need to fix some of these things, get these Tinos and that in early, so that my point is happening, and the points are happening really quickly and really early. It was why last week, while I was happy to use my last boost, but I had to make sure that instead of doing the Anderson, I went to Carraz. I needed those keepers and I wanted those points early.
Yep.
I guess the point is that we need to start thinking a little bit about and adjusting the way that we make our moves this year, because we need points. Otherwise, we're not going to catch the early goers.
Yeah, 100%. I think the cheapie, to your point, the cheapies have been making points. That was the benefit of what they started off. Whereas you're not dealing with cheapies that are making 30 to 40 points a week,
which we have in
slow burning,
years.
which we have had.
Yeah.
And even last week was a big problem. Last year, was a big problem for the center wings. There wasn't really a great deal of early ones that were at the forefront, but they came later on. You had your Eros, you had your Schiller. Even David Armstrong come out and nailed that fullback spot just out of nothing. Blaze Talungi, these guys came later on in the season. This year, they've all started really big. So we've all got this massive injection for them. There's definitely good value, but I think it's just get your points, man. Get these guys like you did last week. Get them in that are going to lock you down for the long run. That's why I've sort of cornered myself into a center wing area now where I can't really trade anyone. I don't have a cheapy luxury to move out to bring in a Billy Smith because I've got guns. It's not a bad position. I'm very happy to be in that, but I'll have to let a lot of these guys go now, unless there's second row cheapies that come up, which haven't existed yet. So it's just a good time, I think, just to move some of these guys on. A lot of cash, a lot of team values, 14.5 mil at this stage, which is really good. But yeah, big points coming, but still, Billy Smith, if he can keep that 70 average going, which has both obviously been 2 try games, he could push himself up into that 550 range as well, like where Mark is, and then that's going to be a very, very dense pool, and that's where your pods will come into play. But that's a whole other thing. So, the number 4 most traded out again, same point. Shibasaki's out, so yeah, same deal. But these people are going to Billy Smith majority of the time. So, just off the center wings now, we're going down to number 5, Jaden Campbell. 700K out for probably 5-6 weeks. He's a definite trade out in my opinion. A lot of people, the 5'8" looks rubbish. That you don't know who to go to. You could probably hold him this week if you want to see how the 5'8" pans out, and then get Dylan Brown as a potential option next week, because obviously this week he's on a bye. Joel, you're looking at that, are you? It makes sense.
That's what I've got written down. I've actually did planning for the next 2 weeks for my trades for the first time ever.
Oh, well, there you go. You might go up in rank. That's fun.
Say it to my face.
I am.
That's bullying. That's bullying.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Gone.
I'll go back 2 episodes. You were calling me Mr. Sabotage.
Hey, that's still it. We've still got that. That's not a nickname or anything. That is you to a T. But you're 100% spot on. Like, I don't think, because he's obviously not going to lose cash this week, Campbell, unless he's your number one at the moment, then probably going for someone like Munster would make sense, because we all know Munster's stats at the moment for the Anzac game, and then just before Origin and stuff, that he does look like he's scoring quite well. Apart from that, it's a wasteland, to be honest. And we said it last week when you were very high on Jaden Campbell. I sort of mentioned, or maybe in the week before, like Dill Brown, don't sleep on him. And as soon as Moses came back, he put in one of those Dylan Brown type sort of performances. So, and he felt like he still didn't have much of those attacking things sort of happening in a way. So I'm all in on Dylan Brown, to be honest. I'm waiting next week. I'm going to hold Jaden Campbell this week. I've got enough depth to have a very strong 17 still, and I'll fix that next week.
Yeah, I think the reason to trade him out this week is obviously if you want that 700. If there was a better cheap option, like a Latu Fine who got named at 5'8", I think he would be a mad trade in. You bank 450 and you can do anything you want with it, but it's not happened like that. So in the low 300s, it's all just rubbish. It really is. It's Cody Walker, it's Jerome Luai, who aren't performing anywhere near what you would want. You're probably going to cop a 20 if you're lucky. It's just not good stuff. So it's like where do you go? You can go up like Trav's Point, Ethan Strange, the negative break even. Out of all of them, he's obviously the one that's going to make the most coin return back in a short period. But he's playing the Dogs next week. He's playing the Storm the week after. I don't like that. By the time, if he has a couple, like he's coming off the back of obviously those 2 really big games, there was like 3 20s in a row. So it's either like 20 or 90. If he doesn't get the 90, his break-even point is going to stall very quickly, and he'll probably be locked at like maybe 450k, maybe a bit more, and then you have to do something with him. So yeah, for that reason, I probably don't love the Strange move, but for price, quick cash, it makes sense as long as you can find a way back to a good 5'8". If you didn't have Cam Munster, I would say just get him. Even with all the Origin stuff, just get him. Like, there's no reason not to. The Storm look too good. You're going to be kicking yourself. You've probably got Pappenhausen. You've probably got a couple of other Storm players. It's like, just get Munster as well. Like, they're all in the points, I think. It's just best the decision to do. But, or wait till next week. Get a bit more clarity around Blaze Talungi as well. I think he could be a good option. See if Burton gets the goal kicking back this week. I think that's another one on the cards. And then obviously Brown is an option too. So there's a lot to happen, but I think this week's a really good one to just sit and wait and see what happens with the 5'8s, and then make an informed decision next week.
Or get Metcalf.
Don't do that. Just try him in once. If you're gonna get in a Warriors half, get in Harris Tavita. Because he just breezes through a 50. Like, he's got 50 every single week, man. Like, I would rather that 50 than the roller coaster of Metcalf every day.
Metcalf still make me money, so I'm happy with him.
You still got him.
Thank you. Still got him. Just shuffling up and down the halves whenever I need him. It's fine. Not hurting me.
Totally. Alrighty. Well, I suppose you still got him. He's still making points.
Thank you.
Anything else on the JC stuff? Pretty covered?
Not really, no. We've covered the options.
Yeah, easy. Number 6, Harry Grant. So came out very late into the week. He was a popular trade-in last week too. Hamstring, 4 to 6 is half the reason I bought. Actually, it's not half the reason. It's the entire reason I brought Bronson Garlick in. But he's got to be an out, man. 615k. He hasn't really been. He just started to get a bit of form back. He started to look really good. And then obviously this injury's just kind of come in and pulled the rug from everyone. But he's out by just over 8,500 people. Problem is, it's like, where do you go from hooker?
Just on what you said, I've actually heard differently about the time frame. I don't know if Trav can confirm this or not. I've actually been told it's not. Yeah, it's only a 2-week, and now they've got it initially wrong, and it wasn't easy certainty. I've been told for Origin, so that's not a drama. Obviously, because of it all in Origin, that you probably still sell him for sure because of what's going on. But it's not a 4 to 6er anymore. It's more of a tour.
Yeah, well, I saw they put their 2-week out on the official page, and it come out before they announced that 2 week, and it was going to be somewhere between 2 to 4. So if it's 2 weeks, he comes back for the Tigers and the Sharks, and then Origin. So yeah, I don't know. I'd still be looking at getting rid of him at this stage. Like if you're only going to get him for 2 out of the next 4 weeks, and then Origin kicks off, and then he's going to be broken for the next. He's going to miss at least 4, I would say, out of those next 6-7 games. He's got to be out. It's just too much in that hooker position. 615k at hooker this year, with the fact that we're rolling with like Sand and Smiths, Mamazelis, Starling, who are all in the 300s. You don't need 600k in your hooker. Like you really don't. And if he was lighting the world on fire, maybe you can justify it. But I guess all you can really do from that is it depends on who you have to begin with. I would imagine Sand and Smith's in there, Mamazelis. These are the guys I wouldn't want to trade in. I think if you're going to go to a hooker, you either go cheap, like Riley Smith cheap, and just get that money back, providing you've got a Sand Smith, bit of buy coverage and that kind of stuff. Or you get someone reliable, someone solid for your 60 points, but there hasn't been that guy. I don't know. Is there anyone that you can think of? Cam McInnes? Brayley? The Sharks got a good run.
Boys.
The
Sharks boys with their run. That's it. That's where I go. I'd go McInnes because of his duel over Brayley, and I love Brayley, but in terms of Supercoach, just because he does what he does. But yeah, McInnes and his 60 tackles and knowing what he's going to do each and every week, plus their draw is wicked.
Yeah,
he'd be a really good option.
Yeah, Connor Watson's a very popular trade-in, and I don't like it.
I was literally about to I was literally just going to mention that. And myself is this 7.5 or 7.8k thousand people, 7.8 thousand people who have just traded in Connor Watson mustn't understand that he is more than likely going to play Origin. I mean, they'd be very silly if they don't pick him. But Joel, you'll talk. You can talk more about that in terms of whether Watson plays or not. But their draw and what they're doing. So he plays. He'll miss out on Origin. He'll miss 13 because of Origin. Has to buy 14. Misses 15 because of Origin. Will probably miss 16 because the day they play has to buy 17. Like he's only going to play like 2 games from. He's going to play 8, 9, and he has a buy in week 10. He'll play 11. And then they probably won't play again until 19, if that's even on the cards.
Yeah, it's shocking. I think, and that's the thing with the Roosters. They've got a great buy run as long as you don't play Origin, because they play all the major buys, they play all the mini buys. But if you're an Origin player in the Roosters, because their buy is in those off games, standalone weeks. What's that, round 14 and round 17? They're their own buys. No other team has them, so they're very easily covered. But because of their Origin, probably not going to back up, depending, into their team buy, into Origin, into not backing up, into a team buy. Yeah, you can't have them. Like, you cannot have any of them. So Angus Crichton is like an absolute no-go. Connor Watson is a no-go. I think at this stage, that's pretty much it for them. No one really has anyone else. Like your Lindsay Collins, who knows if he's going to be picked or fit to play. No one else is super relevant for Origin that I'm off the top of my head. Spencer Leniu, again, not someone that people have. Teddy will be a big one. If he's not named, then sweet, you don't have to worry about it. But if he is, it's like, again, bloody hell, you can't have him. It's just going to be too much money on the bench. So, yeah, all the people trading in Watson, you get him for 8, 9. You don't have him for 10. You get him for 11. And he's gone again. So, yeah, maybe reconsider that one. But, like, fair enough. He's been really good, and I can see the appeal there. It's straight sideways, but you just have to be aware that he's not got a lot of games in him. But, yeah, really, like, Starling, he's been really good. Scored 28. His minutes are in the air. McInnes has been solid as anything. 57, he'll do that with his eyes closed. Brayley, good option. Marshall King's got that leg cut. Wade Egan, back to reality, 42 points last week. So it's just real lackluster. So that's what I mean. Like, take the cash.
I'm just looking at McInnes' stats. He's scored above 51 every week, with an 82 in week 4 and a 61 in week 1, and then 51, 52, 53, 54, 57. Like, he's just going to pump out 50s. He's 574k. He's averaging 58.6.
What's his break even?
Break even 69. God's number.
Fair. Yeah, beautiful.
Ooh.
He might lose 5-10k. Doesn't matter. Does not matter
Yeah,
at all.
and will always stay around that. It's never going to be up or ebbs
Yeah.
and flows. He's always going to get that. Blake Brayley's averaging 57. But that's off the back of that 83 he just got on the weekend. He's got a break even of 15. He's 520K.
I like that a lot.
And I like it too. The 83 pushed him up from 52 average to a 57 on the weekend. So he's been comfortable. He's had a 38, a 44, and a 45 are his three lowest scores, 360s, and then the 80. So it's pretty consistent. But yeah, you're saving 50K with a lower break even. He's another good option.
I like it a lot too. He's got a really good record against the Tigers, who they play this week. And between the two of them, Brayley's 4% owned. McInnes, surprisingly, 8% owned. I've never seen him in anyone's team. Head-to-heads, no league comps, no nothing. And I try and look at everyone's team. I've never seen McInnes in anyone's side before. So the numbers don't lie. I have seen Brayley in people's teams, but that's surprising. So yeah, hooker. What a shit spot. God,
Yeah.
no. 5'8", coming off the back of 5'8" to look at hookers. Number 7, Lockie Hubner. So he's out with a concussion, 371K. Yeah, I guess he's a fair trade out. Like, he's splitting minutes right down the middle with Tallis Duncan. His price has halted. He's 52 break even. He might make in the next 4 weeks. He might push mid 400s. Yeah, no, I don't really have too much to say on his one. He's an out for me. What do you reckon?
I'm an owner of him. I'm keeping him because I don't need to trade him.
It's not a rush. It's not a priority move.
It's only he's only 371. There's no one really I can trade him down to. I'm not going to nuff or muck around with it. I don't need to trade him out. Yeah,
if you've got Jules in your center wing and you need a Billy Smith option, 100%. I reckon that's great. If you've got Coin and you can go push him up to like a Dylan Lucas, I know it's probably 250 odd K. It's quite dear, but he'd be the first guy I'd look to move up if you can. It's just he's in a weird price point. He never made enough, but he's not going to lose it. That's the thing. So someone to look forward to moving on very shortly if you can. Number 8, Jack Howarth, unfortunately never made anything really. Didn't really explode too much, and now he's injured for a long time. So I suppose it's just the Jack Howarth story, unfortunately. What could have been such a really good thing this year. Super keen for him. Is there an idea when he is back? Is there actually indication for it, or is it still like
end of the year
to be announced?
End of the year. They're talking he'll be available for finals. So whether that's a couple of weeks before, earlier even than that, I don't know. But the conversation at the moment is he's available for finals.
Is it surgery?
I haven't actually looked into it properly.
Rough. Poor bloke. That sucks, man. Moving on, number 9, Isaiah Iongi. So even after his heroics, he's almost 500K. He's done a lot, man. He's made 260K since the start. He's got a 53 break even. Moses is back, so you never know what could be potential for him ceiling wise, but he's a popular trade out. I trade, man, week 3 I traded him out, so I never really got the benefit of it all, but he's done a lot, man. To his credit, he's done really well. He's looked good. 500K, I think it's a fair price to take for Iongi. Joel, you got him? You got him, definitely.
I've got him, holding him still. The most effect. I've been saying it to everyone. Look what happened on the weekend. Would have got a score very close to 100 if it wasn't for that stupid, ridiculous sin bin. So yeah, that's I'll be holding for sure at the moment. Going to continue to ride, especially for the Eels, at least at the early on here for the first Origin and stuff. Have a decent run. So I'll be holding him to help me out through this period of things as well.
Yep. I just think a lot of people would have had it penciled in for their plans to trade by now. You know what I mean? Like, it's get to the bye, get to this round, and trade him out for whoever looks good at the time, because that's where it's running. What I don't like is the fact that his most popular trade out is to Billy Smith. I don't think that's the point of what Iongi was there for. I think what you were doing with him is you were going to make money up, and then you were going to upgrade him to a gun. That was the whole point of getting the 2 gun fullbacks and Iongi in the flex, or whatever position you ran with it, is to push him up. Like, you've made, it took 7 weeks. He's made 260K. Use it. Like, utilize that cash growth for something productive instead of. It depends on the position you're upgrading. If there's not a fullback you want, which there is definitely a couple of buyers at the moment, going back to Billy Smith to give yourself an extra, what's that, 160k? It's just not enough to do what I would imagine. Like, you want to put him in your fullbacks, or you want to get something solid in that position. I just, his second most popular trade: Kane Bradley, Jalen DeGroot, Dylan Lucas, Will Kennedy. Like, they're not what I would have expected to see Iongi being traded out for. Like, I traded him out in round 3 for Gutho. And that was because I wanted the points. I understood Iongi had money to make. Gutho obviously had a mad break even. It's just get the points, get that kind of stuff. And none of these trade-ins are, I would say, they're not warranted at all. I think Iongi will probably outscore them. He's definitely going to outscore DeGroot on a bad day between the two of them. And like, I know that the cash is there, but you're going to get stuck again. Am I wrong?
Agreed.
No, I agree with you. I actually, I don't understand the trade down. I think you've got other problems, surely, if you're still holding Iongi and you're making a trade that you need to fix, more importantly, in the centres than Iongi. I'd be keeping him if I had him, to be fair, unless I was going up. And to be honest, you've probably got him in the fullback, which means you've more than likely got obviously you've got another fullback, but then I reckon you more than likely got the second fullback in the flex. I think you've even got the option to just swap the fullback and the flex. So put Iongi in the flex spot and literally get anyone from any spot, and then eventually just swap them in when you find out, like, and put them up in the 2F or put them up into the center wings when you can make those changes and things like that. Like, I don't understand the trading down from Iongi. I think you should be going up, and you can pretty much go to anyone.
I would say that exactly. It's probably what they've done is they've just moved into flex and then probably got Billy Smith in the flex. Maybe thinking that I don't have a center wing.
170k. Like, it doesn't. It's not enough to me.
Not
that's
really.
not enough.
It's not enough. Like, look, Billy Smith will make. What's he projected to make? Probably, if he scores 39, he's going to score more than 39. He'll make probably 90k. Put it safely with that. And then it's like, all right, cool. Now that Iongi trade is now worth 600k instead of 500, but you've just used an extra trade, and it just doesn't seem right to me. And I guess, everyone's side is what it is, and it's different. But like, look, if you're doing it to get Billy Smith in, you've got to have a center. There's someone that doesn't have it. I just think, for
to be fair, I'm not putting another cheapie in a flex spot. Like, this is now the point where I'm putting guns in that flex and fullback and the two fullbacks. Like, I'm not putting a cheapie in there again.
Yeah, what I would imagine people could probably do if they wanted to, just sit on him for a week, let Ponga's price come down again, and then all of a sudden there's 50k between them. And then you can go Iongi to Ponga in 50k. And at the beginning of the season, you're literally looking at someone who was friggin' 198 to someone who was 790 to be 50k apart. Like, that's the kind of thing that you were doing this for, not to go backwards again. So, that's my little spiel on Iongi. Hongi could be a good trade next week. Number 10, Tuipulotu. Damn, that one still hurts. I still keep seeing Tuipulotu coming through. Look, he's 640k. There's plenty of options now. I think Marzu's a really good one for him. Without actually looking at who the options are there as a popular trade out, the luxury of having someone at 640k with the way that the prices are kind of settled, you can do a lot with it. And I'm sick of seeing Billy Smith at the top of the trade-ins when you have a Tuipulotu. This is a guy that was scoring tons. You're relying on someone to score tons every week for their price, and you're not going down that far in the cheapie range. I just think trade a gun for a gun if they're injured. Don't go gun down to cheapie, because then your balance is off. But yeah, Greg Marzu is the second most popular. Dylan Lucas is up there. Carraz, Herbie, Scott Drinkwater. I love it. That's beautiful. Good to see. I think they're all great buys too. Like Carraz, we all have him now.
Yeah,
Didn't take long. I'm glad. All three of us got him immediately, so that's sick. I think he's a good buy, especially against the Broncos. I think, he's just going to do what he can do. He had one try assist last week and was scored 84. Second week back from a long-term injury as well, and he just hasn't looked like he's off the pace once. So he's awesome. Herbie Farnworth, huge game against Melbourne last week. Really popular buy, 700k. Break even's 43. So he's going to make coin. He's always seemed to be pretty steady at that 700 too, so don't worry
Maybe.
too much about if you're going to miss him or do anything crazy there. But yeah, it's like I would be pretty much banking 70 off him a week on average, hoping for like a massive blowout. What do you mean? Ooh.
Ricky's going to have his men fired up in Canberra, mate. I wouldn't be counting your chickens before they hatch. Look out.
I think he's almost ton up against Melbourne.
I have a question, though. For Herbie, the Hammer will be playing Origin, obviously. Is there a world where we actually get to see Herbie at fullback?
It'd be nice.
At that time?
It would be good.
He originally signed to play fullback, don't forget. And he became the best center in the world, so you couldn't change him from that.
Casually.
Tell you what, I would love to see Herbie a game or two at fullback throughout this.
Do you reckon?
Wow.
Do you reckon it'd be like the Manu type thing? As soon as Manu gets named for fullback, you trade him into Supercoach for like 2 weeks, just because you want Manu. Like that. This is that pure blown Manu position here.
That would be so good. I could see it happening too, because I'm just thinking off the top of my head, who do they have there that can fill in at fullback?
Yeah,
he's injured. Like, there's not a great deal going. So
Avarillo, so either center.
Yeah, I suppose.
Avarillo did it a few times at the Dogs, and he actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
he did.
Forgot all about him. I'd say you can't really. It's going to be Avarillo then, isn't it? Can be hopeful, Herbie. That'd be nice for all the Herbie owners out there, or the soon-to-be ones. Anyway, get on board. I'll go through the trade-ins. Yeah, good, man. Honestly, I'm so glad I got him in last week. It just felt right. It's just freaking so rewarding too. The trade-ins, most popular, again, I'm broken record. It's Billy Smith. He's a great buy. Number 2, though, Dylan Lucas. So this guy went ballistic to start the season. He's currently the highest averaging 2RF, I believe, because of the 2 games that he's played. Starting price has not changed either. Actually, he is still the most. Oh, wow. He is 86. He's averaging 86 this season, just ahead of Hudson Young, who's averaging 85.4 with 7 games played. Hudson Young, you freak. Dylan Lucas, dual 2RF center wing. Break even's 21. Traded in at the moment by 10,500 people. So, it's
cheap.
Huge. He's already owned by 6,700 too. They held on to him. So his ownership's going to be decent, over 10% straight off the jump. I like the buy, man. I really do. I think he's a goer. I like the dual position. It's coming off a hamstring, so I suppose there is an element of risk there. But he had 6 weeks off. Like, that's a long way to. That's a long time to have off if you're worried about like reoccurrence. I'm hoping he just goes straight into it. Is he in your plans this week?
Hell yeah, he is. Hey, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 the Knights play.
God,
good counting, Trav.
Coverage is incredible. The Knights.
The point is that he does not he if he stays healthy, he's there until 18. Like, holy moly. Get your Knights dudes in. Get them. If you can. There's so many to think about here, even though they've been getting flogged. Surely.
That feels so bad to say, doesn't it? How bad they're going in, but get the Knights in.
You've got to say it, but then you have to preface it with that silly comment of how bad they are. But you still got to, it's just incredible. But there's so many, like Marju, you've got Ponga, and I'm looking at Fletcher Sharp would be get Lucas in. Like it's incredible.
3 center wings.
That draw is just sick. I'm so excited for that Knights draw for the rest of this year.
Get Schiller in.
Just fill your whole center wing up with Knights. Get Gagai in there. He's cheap now too. We never get a cheap Gagai.
And you never get a cheap Gagai, and no one ever owns him.
And Best, no one ever owns Best, but he's always scoring well. You could genuinely run like 6 with Sharp in there and actually get good points because they all seem to score really well. Even when
I'm going to be in my bonnet, and I'm being serious here for a second. I deserve and demand a discount on Dylan Lucas. Being one of the true owners of Dylan Lucas from the start, I didn't need to wait to see what he was going to average after the first couple of weeks. I had faith. Unfortunately, lost him because of this injury. I demand people out there who start with these sorts of players should get a 20% refund.
You know what?
Discount, I should say.
If you want immediate reward for getting a player right on a pick, go play NRL Fantasy.
We don't talk
Honestly,
about that code on this show.
we
Thank you.
don't talk about it. You get 1 week, round 1, bang, price rises immediately. So if you miss them, oh crap, I've already missed it. At
Mate,
least we got 3, and he
I
got
got it
injured on
right.
the
Now
third.
all
So
you sheep are going to jump on when I already identified from the start he was an absolute gun, a god of Supercoach. And I get nothing
he's the
for it.
reason. He's the reason you're not in the top 1K. I'll put it out there.
Yep,
Just not
I'll
happening.
agree. Yep,
Fair enough.
I agree.
All in agreement. Well, buy him in this week. Your title turn.
Maybe I will.
Maybe you should.
Jesus.
He's a great buy, man. I love it. I
Go
just reckon
on.
he's good.
Go on. This is taking a million years. Go on.
Connor Watson, number 3. Don't do it. Silly one. We already mentioned Connor Watson. I just think, just look at the coverage. Look at the games. Expect Origin. I just think, God, if he plays, what is it, 4 out of like the next 12? Could be quite rough. Number 4, Greg Marzu. Yeah, look, there's a world where I was considering trading him out a couple of weeks ago.
I was literally about to say you're going to take back what you said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 100%. Finally did good things, man. Like it's
What do you
been
mean?
so
Like
painful
he
watching.
had a monster game, but he's been look. If you're going to get 50 off a dude from Marju in a team where they get flogged, like I'm taking that. Like
It was more
okay, you got
the
80,
38,
38, 42, 56 games where they've been flogged, then goes and puts 138 in the game they just got flogged. He's a freak. 21 tackle bust, like unreal, eh?
record breaking.
I was happy to have him right from the start. I never really wanted to trade him out. And yeah, I see everyone getting him in at 578 with that minus break even with their run that they've got. Like just put him in there. He's a base monster and just off you go.
Yeah, as if his ownership wasn't high enough already. But Joel, you do not have him. Spewing.
Yep.
How'd you get that one wrong? Too busy crying over Dylan Lucas in your starting
Dylan
side.
Lucas and asking for discounts.
Oh no, I need a Dylan Lucas discount. Marzi just bangs out 138.
Just too busy getting my captaincies right, so it's all good.
For the first time
still,
in, 8 weeks?
Still
So
40
weeks.
points behind me, and I got it wrong. So,
oh mate, I'll mute you in a minute.
Yeah, do it.
That's because you sabotage us once again. But that's all right. We'll move on.
Goose, Marzu, buy him. Scott Drinkwater, number 5. Yeah, I really like this one. I wish it's kind of a tricky one. Like if you're in a position where your 3 fullbacks are fit and running and going, you've got other problems. You're not in a position to buy him in, but I think there's a good chance he could be like a priority pick soon enough. He's so good over the Origin period. He's averaging really well. Hasn't had really a bad game this season. Like his lowest has been 52. That was in round 3 against the Broncos. Yeah, so that was when the Broncos were flying too. So he's been there's 4 games in the 70s, a 72, 74, 76, 78. His goal kicking keeping his floor up. With a lot of home games now, like it's just easy to do. He's 700k, nice and easy. I like it. I'm a big fan of the drink.
Yeah, me too. I said to you before. And he, if stays healthy, he only misses 1 game all the way till round 27. And that's round 12. That round 12 one's a bit of a killer, but surely you can manage that. But yeah, he misses 1 game out of that. And then, as you said, he's got, he's at home this week, goes to Suncorp for Magic Round, then at home, then at home, then at home. Then he's at Amy Park against the Storm, then at home. Then he's at Amy. Then he's at a core stadium. Then he's at home, at home, at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in the next up to round 19 is at home. It's incredible.
Yeah, really good.
The Cowboys have found their groove too. They're starting to play. I have a fear of the Cowboys when our Origin happens because obviously I reckon they'll lose a couple. I think they'll lose Dearden, which hurts. They'll lose Talangi, which I think is going to hurt them. So we'll see what happens and how that works. But, to be fair, in that round, they've got the Tigers, they've still got Dolphins, they've got the Roosters, they've got the Titans. They played the Storm twice, 14 and 18. But they'll be, Origin hampered. So it might be interesting what happens there. But yeah, I think Drinkwater is an amazing shout. He's lost 67k. I can't see him losing too much more.
Just takes me back like 2 years when I started him at like 890k, and I was like, yes, give me the drink at that price. I'm fine with it. It's just a discount. Jacob Kiraz, number 6, only in by 5,100 people so far. I thought he was going to be the most popular trade in this week.
Because everyone got him last week.
No, he was
No,
low
because
owned
he was
last
only
week too.
6%. Only 6% owned, yeah.
Yeah, so he's 6%, currently brought in by 3.3. It's still going to be less than 10. I just think, what are you doing? Like, the dogs look so good. Kraz looks great. I can't see the reason why. Yeah, he's a fantastic buy-in. Herbie, number 7, again, they're pretty much the exact same price. Just take your pick or go both if you can't make your mind up like I did. I think you can't go wrong with it. Number 8, Nathan Cleary. Surprising to see Cleary in the charts, but I guess his ownership, at 52%, there's still more than, just under half the game that don't have him. Would you be buying Cleary now?
No.
I
No, I
wouldn't
wouldn't.
either.
And I get it. You're chasing a point. You're chasing the 100 that he got last week, which, geez, he got a massive scale up, didn't he?
No attack, or he
week.
got contributions, but no tries, no assists either.
Yeah, and he went from 80 odd to 116, wasn't it? Like, it was a huge upscale. But no, you're chasing that 116. I get Cleary's the best halfback in the competition, particularly for Supercoach. You're getting him for 8, 9, and 10. He doesn't play 11 because they've got the bye. He won't play 12 because he'll play Origin. They play Para around 13, and if I just quickly have a look at when that game is, I thought that was a Saturday.
It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday.
So he could probably back up for that, but yeah, I think you're playing with a little bit of fire here with that and the amount of games that he's going to miss. It'll kill you to miss him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you've got him, just to go through basically from like 11 to 19. Like, he plays, they got a bye in 11. He's got Origin. The Sunday backup, he's probably going to play, considering where the Panthers are on the ladder. I don't think they can afford to just rest him for it. And he'll play, obviously, the following week against the Tigers. It is the Tigers.
Yep.
Then they got a bye in 15, and then it's Origin in Perth, flying to New Zealand on a very short turnaround. I think it's a Saturday game. That's a massive trip. Perth to New Zealand after Wednesday to Saturday, more than likely.
You won't play that.
Not going to happen in a million years. And then 17, they play the Dogs, which is a hard game. Then a bye. And then Para again, 19. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 games from round 11 to 19. Yeah. I would say once it gets to that point by like round 11 when their team buys on, he's a trade out. And he's probably not a trade back in until like the last month or round 20 even. And that's where I'd be like, welcome in Jerome Hughes or something. Just see who's, there and available at the time. But I guess in the meantime, there's a chance that he scores 300 points in the next 4 weeks, which is valuable. You know what I mean? It's still good points to get. I still don't mind his price tag either for the potential upside on him.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say I would actually say he's a buy at the moment. $695K for Cleary, where he could easily go 3 tons in a row for the next 3 weeks. Then if you want, get off for the next 6 or 7 weeks after that, and you get back on after Origin. I actually can see why he would be a buy this week if you haven't got him.
But then, it's so easy to say. He was a buy last week. He was a buy probably the week before. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, like I see the buy 100%. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's every chance that he does outscore every other half by 100 points in the next month, even with the games upcoming. But it's just depending if you.
You want to use 3 trades.
Yeah. Do you want to be trading him in and out so many times? And that's what I said. I think it was like 3-4 weeks ago now. It's like, how many trades do we have to allocate to Cleary every season? For the injuries, for Origin, for everything that happens around Cleary, unless you're just crazy and you just persist with him and leave him at 700-800K on your bench for the entire time he's out. You can do a lot with that cash. So yeah, great trade in for points, but you're going to lose trades doing it. It's a clear one out. Number 9, Pappenhausen. Number 10, Munster. I'll just lump them both together. 675K, 658K. Both got great appeal. I suppose both popular because Campbell's out. Walsh is injured. People just sick of Ponga. Shouldn't be. There's a lot of stuff there for him. I think if you just don't have them, you should probably have them by now. There's not really too much to read into. There's nothing to dissect there. They're fantastic. Probably the best in their positions, respectively, at the moment this season. Yeah, no-brainers for me, I would say.
Agreed.
Yep, no problems with that.
Cool. Well, that's all the trade in and outs, man. That's everything. So we can touch on our trades going into this round. Joel, who are you trading this week? Curious.
Alrighty, using me second last boost this week, so making some moves, making some changes. I'm trading out Jenkins. I'm getting rid of Dewey. That little keep him for one more week while he's playing halves was crap, so did absolutely nothing and got me a nice 36 for playing him in my centre wing. So thank you for that. And I've decided to get rid of Hubner as well. I did come into this with 337 in the bank as well because I wanted to make a few decent moves this week. Bringing my boys straight back in, Dylan Lucas, of getting Billy Smith as well. I actually think he could potentially have some keeper scores for a while, so I'm happy to have him there. And I'm bringing in Greg Marju. So he is a base stat king at the moment. And with that Knights run and how many games they can all play, it's simply a must-have in my opinion. So unfortunately, I did these actually pretty much, yes, as soon as team list sort of dropped and thinking I was thinking outside the box somehow. And then I've looked now and then you've gone through the list and I've got 3 of the top 4 trades. So awesome. I love that. It is what it is. Whatever.
It's always good though. You're making good moves. That's the way I look at it. It's like, oh, everyone's got the same idea. They're good moves. It's just like, where's your?
But then the point
variation.
is, and the problem is where's the pods coming? How do you start making moves? How do we get up? We've got to start thinking. We got to think outside the box. But
100%.
And the thing that was dirty, and we spoke about it, like getting 2 nights in this week, knowing they've been so poor, it just feels a bit dirty. But again, it's going to cover me for a long time at the moment. They're both can still score well, even if their team is performing badly. That's the best thing about these 2 players. So I'm happy with it.
Change it up. Don't get Lucas.
Yeah, no, he's my boy.
Get
Thank
sharp.
you. I started with
Get
him.
sharp.
No. You get sharp and not Lucas. I can't do that anyway because Lucas I'm putting in at the moment for Hubner, so I've got to keep him in 2 for 1 week, and then I'm going to make another change.
Get Couchman.
Can you not tell me what to do? I don't need to listen to Sabotage. I listened to myself last week, and I got green arrows. So things are happening for me when I listen to myself. I'm Randy Orton. I hear voices in my head.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Couchman is an amazing shout out.
Yeah, 100%.
Get him.
I wish I could. God, I wish I could. I would do it immediately. Trav.
What are you doing, Trav? That leaves me with 30 trades to go, by the way. 30 trades.
And 1 boost left?
1 boost.
Yep.
Which I'm keeping for now. I'll pull at the moment. I've actually, as I said, wrote it all down. I'll be using that next week if everything goes according to plan.
Out of interest, who are those people you're looking at next week for that boost?
I'm not saying anything because I don't want bad juju. So I'll just keep that
one's still in Brown. One's still in Brown. So
yeah,
we know that much.
Thank you. One could be the guy called Herbie. So that could be on the cards.
Yeah.
And then there could be a fullback play, but I might hold off on that. Might get away with 2 trades next week. I'll see.
They both sound really good anyway. So that's solid.
Thank you.
My trades, I'm looking at Campbell down to either Strange or something a little bit out of. Well, both of these are out of the norm, but either Brinson. Bank a lot of money. Bank almost 200K for Brimson, or bank at least 270 odd K to Strange, and then I'm thinking of then using that money to. Or push Jenkins up to Dylan Lucas, and that'll be my 2 trades this week.
Nice. I think it's fair. I don't know what I'll do this week. Genuinely, like there's nothing I'm sold on. I can go Jenkins to Smith, and then Nicholson will be my ticket to Dylan Lucas, if I was going to do that. But I kind of don't want to trade Nicholson. I think he's been all right. I kind of like his game too, and I think he's got good coverage. I just don't know. There's also Hubner, but I'm like 4,900K short of doing that move in itself. So I can't get Hubner and Billy Smith, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't really want to be trading out Jaden Campbell this week because I'm not really super sold on anyone particular. It could be a week where I just do one move, and I just go like Jenkins to Smith, but at the same time, like I'm not in love with that either. So yeah, this could be the first week I don't trade, genuinely.
Ooh.
And I just let Billy Smith go. I let Hiroti go last week, and I might let Billy Smith go. And I might, I might not benefit from that in the long run and regret it, but there'll be more cheapies along the way, surely. Like I'm sure there will. I don't really need
This is
them,
the
but
last one. This is it.
he's the last one. Yeah, well,
Last one of the year.
We've got Finau coming in probably 2
Finau
weeks'
coming in.
time. So
Yep.
he's one that's on the cards for the future. I'm sure there's one more too. I don't know if I was thinking maybe Bradley could be an option in the next, but it's such a short term. I'm almost certain there's another one that could be longer term. So, look, Finau's a get out of jail free card in 2 weeks' time, providing something messed up big time. It just depends on like keeper status, like Jaden Campbell. I could just go Jaden Campbell straight down to Burton because I don't mind that play. But again, like it's a bit of a punt taking in, seeing if Crichton locks the goal kicking down. That's going to really hurt Burton's ceiling. So, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing overly pressing. The break evens that I want and have, they're not too bad. I could do just something hell rogue and just go like Gutherson to Tedesco. And then be like, cool, I've just got Tedesco now and I'm very happy with it. So there's little things that I can do here and there, but honestly, nothing at the moment that I'm convinced I won't boost. I'm not interested in this week. I don't think if I was going to boost, it'd be for like cheapies. And I just don't want to waste the last one that I've got left on cheapies. Like there's got to be what Trav did last week.
Hang on. Wasn't there someone during the day you wanted to use your boost for?
Oh, Sorensen. Yeah, because he allowed a move that I liked, and I was like, ooh, Sorensen could be a good one. But again,
Your
I'm not
exact
doing
words were Sorensen season, baby.
I didn't say Sorensen season. I said it's Soren season. And it is Soren season. It's been Soren season for 3 years. It's just
So
been
have you moved officially off Papali? Is that done? Is that you and
maybe till next year. Yeah, I'm gonna call it this year. I don't think I won't own him. That's not gonna happen unless something miraculous happens. Yeah, no, it's not happening this season. But yeah,
Fair
sorry, I'm a
enough.
little bit boring with my trades this week. I don't really have anything locked up. If
And you're
I
excited
didn't do Karaz or Herbie this week, I did them last week. I probably should have grabbed a Hiroti or something and made some coin. I didn't want to. I just wanted the gun. So that would have been my play this week had I not done it then. So yeah, jump the gun.
Can you
but I didn't
excited
do
with
anything.
your C and VC options then?
Yeah. The VC, I'm probably going to leave on Pappenhausen against the South. I think that's a good one for him. And
Against the South.
oh,
You said that funny then, against the South.
I was just looking at V Souths. So I was like, against the South, or the Rabbits, as I like to call them. Yeah, so knob. It'll be that, and then probably a C Cleary, I think. I just think Manly are a little bit funny at the moment.
Jump on.
Oh, the most popular player of freaking all time Supercoach the last few years. Why not?
Trav,
Such a pod pick too, isn't it? God, Joel, I'm copying you so bad.
can't beat him, join him. Trav.
I'm deciding on who I VC out of Gutho and Pappenhausen, and then I've got the C on Cleary. I'm also there's a small thought on maybe a VC on Karaz. I think the Bulldogs do a bit of a number on the Broncos.
I was thinking that as well. I don't mind that either. A Karaz VC is always nice. Would have been better last week than Pappy, that's for sure. Not by a lot, but
I've got a temptation on throwing the VC on Payne Haas, to be honest.
the VC.
I think this will be his big minute game. And
Against the
he'll just go
Dogs.
absolutely crazy and just work his absolute ass off. And Madge will try and make a huge statement for it. And just be like, him and Carrigan need to go ballistic. And we'll win this game 8-6.
Yeah, if there's going to be a scoreline that's going to benefit the props, anything, it's probably of that really low affair. But I don't know. It's just I just don't like going anyone against the Dogs at this stage, even if it is a prop. I just think they'll be able to contain him. And it's like, how do you
I
contain
won't
Payne
do it.
Haas? It's like,
Just
well, the
like
Dogs
it.
can. The Dogs can do anything at this
Yeah.
point.
I won't do
Yeah.
it. It's just, I like it. I'm doing VC, Pappy, C, Cleary like I did last week, so I haven't changed it. So
Well,
kept
just
it.
going through the top 10, we'll just hit on the top 10 VCs and Cs. Like VC wise, it's Pappy. He's the most popular at 30, basically 33%. Drops off down to 14 to Gutho, 10 to Payne Haas. So he's actually quite popular in the VC section at the moment. Teddy 7.2, Cleary 6.9. It's quite a late game to do a Cleary VC, but jumping into the most popular captains, almost 40%, it is Nathan Cleary. So looking at that, I might actually go off him and do something else. Perhaps at 30% pretty much, which is good. 12% for Payne Haas. I'm very surprised Payne Haas is both that high in VC and C. And, well, there you go. Terrell May right underneath him at 6.2. I prefer Terrell May. Probably at this stage more of like a VC or C option than Payne Haas. Just with the whole minutes thing with the Broncos stuff, I don't know. Payne Haas, he's a weapon. He's a gun. He can bang out 80 or that. But I think just Terrell May is doing it for nothing. So yeah, and it's just more fun to watch. But yeah, I just like his matchup a bit better against the Sharks than I do against Broncos versus Bulldogs. Drinkwater 2.9% rounds the top 5 out. A more popular percent captain than Tedesco, Hines, Munster, Gutho, which is surprising too considering his ownership. But yeah, if you're going to captain anyone, it's a fullback against the Titans. So I see the merit in it for sure.
We're doing the reserves quickly, or
Yep. I'll go through my ones at the moment. My reserves are Terrell May. I've just moved Tino into my starting lineup. It just doesn't make a difference to anything. But Terrell May, Nico Hines, Ruben Garrick, and Kalen Ponga are my reserves. It's a good lot of reserves.
yeah.
Garrick, you got Garrick in the reserves.
Yeah, I got Purdue in my starting lineup. He's deserved it. He's been promoted.
So what have you got? So you've got Carraz, Farnworth, Marju, Purdue, and Garrick as your fifth.
Yep, Garrick's been relegated to the bench with a reserve chip because Purdue, the gun, playing the Titans. God, I'm keen for another triple-digit figure in this one. Yeah, stoked for it. And my second row I don't have a reserve on my second row. It's Katoa, Horsburgh, and Nicholson still. There could be an upgrade there as well, but I don't know if I need to. And then, yeah, Payne Haas, Tino in my front row, Terrell May's on the bench. I think I'll be starting Sandon Smith this week too. I won't be playing Mamazelis. Might be the first week I actually give Sandon Smith a run. So against St. George, I just like that matchup. It's one of the best Roosters games I watch all year. So I feel like I need to have some Roosters players in there. I don't have anyone starting for them. So
Yep.
Fair, cool.
Cool.
At the moment for me, I've got Tino. I've got Dylan Egan. But he's sitting there as if he does what he's been doing the last couple of weeks and plays the full or starts, I'll swap him back again. I'm on Hiroti and Ponga, but that'll probably change depending on what I do with Jaden Campbell. And I just can't not play Ponga. I just have to. My head just tells me that I have to play Ponga. I can't not, because the one that I don't do will be when he puts 200 out, and then that can happen against New Zealand, even though it's in New Zealand.
Yeah, no, there's never a consideration to not play Ponga, even with the poor form. It's one game away. I'm just going to keep saying that. One game away.
Yeah, how long can we say that for?
One more week. That's it.
Keep saying it, boys. For me, I'm doing Hiroti, Tamale, Lucas, and Horsburgh. My reserves. Thank you very much. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
Who's in your starting forward pack if that's Horsburgh and Lucas? You've got Yo, Olakwatu. Yeah.
Yo, Olakwatu, and Tino.
Yeah, it's solid as. Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Very good. Cool.
Thank you.
Pretty much it, man.
Done and dusted.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Trav. Thank you, Jesse. Subscribe. You know all of it now. Like, hit some comments, add some comments via YouTube and Spotify. Helps grow the page a lot. Listening on Spotify, please give us a rating. It helps grow the page a lot. So I noticed a fair few have done that recently. So keep that up. Really appreciate it. Keep following us on the socials. It is growing like absolute crazy. Cannot believe it. Thank you, everyone out there that is watching it. Last week, just quickly, we did put up a post saying 21K. Thank you very much. We've already smashed through 22K. So within 5 days, we actually grew over 1,000 follows on Facebook, which is absolutely insane. So thank you very much. Thank you for the support. Make sure all you Supercoach listeners are translating this over to posting that as well. Like the post, comment on the post, give us your thoughts. We do really want to know. And as always, $2.99 per month. The Legends group on Facebook. Become a member there if you haven't already. That's it. Good night. Good day. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Anzac weekend. Pay your respects, all that jazz. Then sit down and watch the football and hopefully get some good Supercoach scores. Bye.